Hello. This is the first true episode of the Brett Coach Show. Just a show where I share what I'm working on, what I've been learning, what I'm excited about in the world of programming. The last episode was a pilot, just to see if I enjoyed making it. It was fun, and I enjoyed sharing it and just sharing a bunch of random stuff that I've been doing. Less structured than the screencast videos. So let's do this as regularly as I can. I don't know if it will be weekly, but I'm going to try. I wanted to start by sharing something I've been learning, which is this book called Hands-on Rust. It is a Rust programming book by Pragmatic Bookshelf, which is a book publisher of fine books on programming. I guess the publisher is actually called the Pragmatic Programmers. And the people who started that company made the book The Pragmatic Programmer, which is a great book that I really enjoyed. And they've published other books. This book is about Rust, as the name implies, and as this webpage shows. Something unique about it is that it's teaching you Rust through the concepts of game programming, which I really like, because that's this sort of overlap of two things I'm very interested in and enjoy doing. So it's been a great book. It's by Herbert Wolverson, and I like his writing style. The first major project in it is you build a Flappy Bird clone called Flappy Dragon, where you display things with ASCII characters using a library that he built called BracketLib. That was a fun tutorial. So you can see the screen is moving. I'm the @ symbol, which is supposed to be the dragon, and as I press space, I fly up. If I don't, I fly down. And your goal is to make it through the barriers. So yeah, really fun. It's like you get this working in less than 100 lines of code with things, and it's a good start. So that's what I've made so far with Hands-on Rust. I've been reading the next chapters, but I haven't started programming them yet because I'm still absorbing it and learning it. But the big project after this Flappy Bird clone is you build a dungeon crawler where you generate rooms and can proceed through them and go to different levels, and there are items and enemies. It's really cool. I'm really enjoying the book. I think if you're interested in Rust and you're interested in game programming, it's a nice overlap of the two. So that's Hands-on Rust. Been really enjoying that. I've continued to read the Rust programming book just to learn things. Things like structs have been really helpful. Structs and enums in particular are the things I've been learning about. And that's also in Hands-on Rust, so that's a nice combination of learning there for Rust things. I've been working on words more, which is my word count program. So if you type words in, let's go to Projectbook, words, source, and I've showed this before, but there are 20,000 words in Projectbook. I also added line count, so you can do -L instead of nothing, and that tells you the number of lines. So that's more useful for code, right? Like in that Flappy Dragon video or program, if I do words L, do */ let me make my text bigger. Sorry about that. If I do */ */*rs, you can see how many lines of code there are. So a total of 204 lines of code to get that working. And you can see I split it up into different files as part of some learning I was doing. So that's the improvement to words. And that addition of the line count, I recorded it as a video because I was doing it driven through tests and was doing some refactoring. So that was fun. That video will be out soon. I've started recording and scheduling videos so that I can space them out. But yeah, I'll show really quick in words the struct refactoring I did that made it a lot easier to work with. I made this struct called wordyfile that takes the path and then counts word count and line count. And then in the program, there's a vector of wordyfiles. Wordyfiles is a really dumb name. I thought it was silly, so that's why I chose it. But and then you have that vector, and then for each file, it pushes it into the vector And then at the end of it, it checks the length. If there's more than one file, then it outputs each file's length and then the total. And using fold, which is neat. That's kind of like reduce in Ruby. And it was really a nice, enjoyable time programming that. And yeah, I feel like I'm getting a little bit more of the hang of Rust. So that's Words. That is hands-on Rust. I've been trying to contribute back. There's so many great free Rust resources out there. I thought, well, I should really try to give back. So I've been trying to open PRs and be supportive of the projects that have been helping me the most. So there's a book on the Rust CLI, like how to build command line interfaces with Rust. And there was a section with a to-do on it about accepting input from standard in. So I took the kind of core of Words without the extra stuff and contributed in a PR with some text I wrote that explains in the book how to use standard in. So that was cool. Hopefully that PR can get merged, and trying to contribute there. And then MDBook is the program I've been using. It's a Rust program for authoring books in Markdown. And I've been going through the issues and trying to contribute to that project too, because I really like MDBook. I think I'm going to use it for writing a bunch of different things. So I want to be supportive and help make it better. So here's my first PR that makes it so you can use KBD elements, which are keyboard elements that, work. So yeah, I opened this PR that adds some styles for that element. And there are more issues that I want to try to dig into and help with that project. So that's the things in Rust land. And then the only other thing I wanted to share project-wise is Projectbook, which I mentioned in the last episode. I've continued to work on it and really work through and polish it up. So all the command line interfaces are done. You can see there's some new ones, some old ones. Libraries are fleshed out. Websites are fleshed out. Web components are fleshed out. I don't know if I showed this last time. I think I did, but we've got mock-ups of what it could be like. And then I went through and I really went through web apps and tried to make web apps useful. So we've got mock-ups for this idea for a recipe management web app where you can go and add recipes and fork them from other people and favorite them. Things like a restaurant ordering platform where you can place an order and then the restaurant can manage the items on their menu. Yeah, I've just really been excited about it. A game tracker, kind of like this website Backloggery that lets you keep track of your games. So really feel good. I think, up to GUIs, general graphical apps, everything is pretty solid and fleshed out. And then general graphical apps I've been expanding on. There aren't many mock-ups and some of the text is like placeholder, but it's really been getting there. Like here's a journal mock-up for a really simple journaling program. So I'm working on the GUI section and then I'll get into games, and I'm excited to do games because that'll be fun and a fun way to end it. So yeah, currently it says there's 103 chapters, but that includes introductions. So there's, in the mid 90s, the total number of projects here. My goal is to get it past 100, get them fleshed out, add as many mock-ups and details and resources as I can, and then we'll consider it like version 1 done. I'll read it for typos, and then I'll generate a PDF if people want a PDF, but it'll remain free, and I'll launch it then and share it more widely in different places. But Projectbook continues to go, and I'm having a good time with it. So that's Projectbook. If you're interested in it, it's at projectbook.code.bretschelooper.com. Maybe I'll make a short link for that. But for now, that's the URL, and that's the updates to Projectbook. All right, other little things that are in my mind. So I just wanted to share that my plan is to try to publish a video every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Friday. I don't know how long I'll be able to do that for, but I've got episodes banked up for a few weeks, and then I'll continue to release those on that schedule. Fridays will be Brett Code Show. Monday will be programming stuff, and then Wednesdays we'll be talking about working in the industry and sort of career advice, I guess, loosely. So that's the kind of themes I'm thinking. In terms of upcoming videos, I've got a couple more things on RSpec that I want to do. Things like FactoryBot with RSpec, because that's a really useful gem. Things like reusable example groups in RSpec for sharing behaviors across different files, which is really useful with inheritance and including modules and stuff. So got a couple more things on RSpec, and then from there, I'm not sure what I'll do. I'll either do videos on Ruby and like deeper dives into certain Ruby topics, or I'm also interested in doing a series on GraphQL on Rails. So how to build out a mature, stable, fleshed out, well-tested GraphQL API with your Rails code base. I think that would be also a very fun episode or series of videos. So sort of still, lots of Ruby and Rails and RSpec on the horizon before I sort of wrap that up. I'm sure there will be new things I learned there too that I'll want to share in the future. But yeah, that's it for the foreseeable future. I'll have some Rust videos occasionally, and that will be fun, and other things I'm dabbling in, but I'll still have those mainline Ruby and Rails videos. The last thing I wanted to share is just some reflections on this idea of having a mentor. I was reflecting a lot on different points in my career where I've had mentors, and I really think that if you're starting out, if you're a junior, a mid-level, or like you're at like an intern or apprentice level, really find a mentor. And whether that's someone you work with or someone in the community, it's really important to have a mentor who you can go talk to, share ideas, catch up with every few months or however often, and just get guidance from them, get feedback from them, because they've been through similar things before in their career, and they can help you and help avoid pitfalls and give you guidance on things to focus on, from technology to getting a job to whatever it is. So I think just want to stress that having a mentor is really important. And with the proliferation of online communities and the availability of, chat programs and video calls and everything is, I think you can really find someone who wants to help and support you and see you thrive. So if you don't have a mentor, if I say that, like, who's your mentor, and you don't know who that is right away, then maybe it's time to find a mentor. If you're further along in your career and you're, like a senior developer or beyond that, maybe it's time to help mentor people and give back and help people who, are earlier on in their career and might be looking for someone to support them. So that's my sort of thought for the week that I wanted to share, is you need a mentor, and find someone that can help support you. That's it for this week. Thank you, as always. If you follow me on Twitter, I'm Brett_codes. That would be great. And I guess if you subscribe to the videos, I don't think I've ever asked people to subscribe to the videos. I don't think I'll continue to do that. I don't like doing that. So I don't care if you subscribe or not. But I'm glad that you watched the video this far, and I hope you stick around. Thank you very much. All right. See ya.